I missed the longer version of the Lido Loca intro song. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Lido Loca. I'm your host, Tony, here with the live show, the live cruise show. It's Tuesday Night Live, and we're going to explore. We're going to explore the conversation. Is cruises back to normal? Are cruises back to normal? Is cruising back to normal? Now, you may be wondering where the beautiful Jenny B is. It's been a busy time here at the Triple L headquarters, and you may have heard about a big group cruise coming up in January, the Vlogger Extravaganza, with well over, gosh, how many? I think it's close to 1,000 cabins between everybody that was booking cabins. I think it's close to 1,000 cabins, and it was final payment week. And so Jenny B has been working like a crazy person for days on end. And so she's got the night off tonight. How about that? You're stuck with me again. Welcome to the show. Let me explain to you how it works. Your price of admission for being at the show is you have to hit the like button. If you do not hit the like button, YouTube will know it, and then when the show ends in an hour, then you won't be able to see the show anymore. Like at 10 o'clock when the show is over, you won't be able to see the show anymore, so you want to make sure that you hit the like button so you're not excluded from the show. That's the price of admission. The way that it works is I'm going to answer as many questions as I can for you guys. The best way to get your question answered is to type the word question in capital letters before your question, and you want to do it when I'm kind of looking over at the screen. I'll talk to the camera for a bit, then I'll look at the screen, and so yeah, that's the way it works. There's going to be a lot of people here. It's going to be a fun, festive time. The Blue Crew is going to be here to keep people in line. The big goal is to see if we can get 1,000 likes by 9:20, and we did it last week. I feel like I already feel the energy. You guys are a better audience than last week. I know many of you here were here last week, and I think you're better this week. Hit the like button. All right. What's going on? Is cruising back to normal? So I've been thinking about this a lot. My friend Don published a video that basically had that in the title. And for me, the idea of cruising being back to normal is cruising without testing, cruising without mask, cruising without limits on how many passengers can be on board. And then, but as I was looking at the chat here before the show, and I missed the person's name who said it, they said, bring back the Quest. That's how we'll know that cruising is back, like on Carnival. I hadn't even considered that. So I was looking at the big three. Certainly there's cruising going on without a testing requirement. Certainly there is cruising going on without a masking requirement, and we're seeing no masking on crew members now. And certainly we're seeing cruises at 100% or more for a good period of time now. But the point is raised and well taken that some of the amenities are not back. Some of the shows and some of the perks and all that stuff's not back. So cruising feels pretty normal to me, honestly, the cruising that I've done, but maybe it's not. So I'm running the poll. I'm not trying to convince anybody, but make sure you answer the poll. We'll see where we're at the end of the hour. But right now, 66% of you feel like that cruising is back, and 34% don't. Ashley Isley, thank you so much for the super sticker. Glad to have you here tonight. Wow, that's what the super sticker said. Sure do appreciate that. Angela Jumper, thank you so much for the super chat. 48 today and still in high school. The kids were great to me today, though. Excited to spend my birthday with my friends. Well, happy birthday. Happy 48th birthday, Angela, and thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, when the room service Harley Tadai, when the room service offers peanut butter and jelly sandwiches free again, back to normal. Well, we're never getting back to normalcy, because once they start charging you for the peanut butter and jelly, they're always going to charge you for the peanut butter and jelly. I would be surprised if that bell was unrung. So yeah, you got to bring your own. PB&J. Zepco Zenith, thank you so much for the super chat. Question: do you know of a camera drone usage? Do I know of on ships and ports? They vary. So I was just looking at Facebook before the show that we did at 8 o'clock, and somebody on Holland America said that they went to a port, and on return from the port, their drone got confiscated because Holland America does not allow drones on the ship. The best way to do it is whatever your next cruise is, go to that cruise website, look at the prohibited items, and the drone's going to be there or not be there. And then you got to look at a port-by-port basis. I do feel like more ports that I'm getting off of have the big sign that says no drones allowed. Droning is good. You get some good footage with the droning, but I would advocate if you really want a nice aerial shot that doesn't have to be, I don't know, way up in the air, get yourself one of those 360 cameras that I use and get even a longer selfie stick than what I have. They have like some 10-foot mega selfie stick. You can put that thing up in the air and just shoot some footage, and you can get some drone-like footage with it. And I've never had trouble using that camera anywhere at all. At all. Barbara Bruce, thank you so much for the super sticker. It says, keep it up. How about that? Question from Keith Colombo. I'm new to RCL. Any benefit to purchasing the key being offered for my upcoming cruise? I've never purchased the key, but I do believe, and RCL folks help me out there, you get a lunch at Chops on embarkation day. And I think the other big deal that you get priority embarkation. I think you get priority debarkation, but then you also get internet with that. I've heard a lot, and they stow your luggage for you. Like if the room's not ready, they also stow your luggage for you. I believe those are the benefits of the key. I can't remember. It's a daily cost, I believe, to have that. Anybody advocate for the key or not the key? I'm not sure, but I always have to buy the upgraded internet, and I don't feel like the upgraded internet comes on the key, and so I think that's why I stay away from it. Yeah, so like Jerome there said that the key comes with an internet and it's cheaper than buying the internet package, the regular internet package. Hunami, thank you so much for the super chat. All right, 963 folks are here. We're 6 minutes into it. We're halfway to our light goal of 1,000 goals. I'm not going to talk about it again until I talk about it again, but we can get there. Come on, y'all. Let's get there. Question from Messy Shack. Question, if I have to pick up my cruise card at my cabin at the beginning of my cruise, can I purchase things before I get to the cabin? Yes. I'm not sure how it works. I usually try to go get my card before I start purchasing stuff. They're probably going to ask you for your cabin number. So you got to know your cabin number. Of course, you need to know your cabin number to get to your cabin anyways, but sometimes that's not obvious. And so that's a pro tip right there. Commit your cabin number to memory when you get on the cruise ship, because if you do want to get a drink, they're going to ask you that before you get your key card. And of course, you got to get to your room anyways to find that. So Shane Messing, I love you, man. How about that? I love the love. I love the love. How about that? Question from Kim L. Any group cruises out there? Yes. Yes, lots of group cruises. If you want to see our schedule for group cruises, you can go to our website, www.lalidoloca.com/group cruise. Look for somebody with a blue name. That'll probably pop up with the actual link to it. You can see our cruises for 2022 and 2023. We don't have anything for 2024. We're debating whether or not we're going to have anything for 2024. So if you want to get in on some of that sweet La Lido Loca group cruising, you got to do it now, or forever hold your peace, as if we're getting married or something like that. John Fitzpatrick's got his Sugar Skull t-shirt, said it looks good. I did put out some new t-shirts in the Facebook group. Make sure you go check out the Teespring store. I'm working on this concept, this t-shirt concept, and we're calling it the Monsters of the Lido. So I created 3 t-shirts that have the same front, and it says La Lido Loca Monsters of the Lido with fangs. It's pretty cool looking front. But then the back has 3 monsters on them that are wearing like crew stuff. So there's Captain Frankenstein, there's a zombie with a sailor's hat, and then there's a ghost pirate. So some sexy new shirts on the Teespring store in addition to the Sugar Skulls. Ken May, thank you so kindly for the super chat. Anyone going on the Prima for Christmas this year? We'll be on the Prima before then. We're going to be on the Celebration. We're going to be on the Prima. I don't even know when. So I'm waiting for Jenny to tell me when we're going, but I know that's before the end of the year, but I don't think it's going to be for Christmas. Has anybody started doing their Christmas shopping? That's the question. Karen C., thank you so much for the super chat. This isn't about cruising, but I've noticed in the drone shots of Fort Myers that many have their swimming pools covered. You did your live showing the weather of the hurt, and you did in your live. I don't know. It's a nice thing to keep the bugs out, I believe, is the main thing. It also provides shade. Many of the houses here have that covered lanai or porch or whatever. The screens are amazing because especially for our pool, there's trees that drop leaves and stuff like that. I think it's a bug thing. It's the main thing. It's so nice to have a bug-free environment. And I think that's the way most Florida houses. We just rent our place down here, and almost every house that we looked at for rental has a covered porch like that. It's pretty cool. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Whoop. Gangnam Style. I missed some stuff. Jacob Wynn, thank you so much for the super sticker. Foxy. Question, which RCL ships have the new Starlink internet? Southern Banker. I don't know. I think Freedom got it, but I don't know. They haven't really rolled out. I know that they're putting it on things, and the whole fleet's going to get it eventually, but I haven't seen a list of where. I would check. Keep an eye on Royal Caribbean blog. The Matt over there and his team, they keep up with that kind of thing, so I would check that frequently. Donna says, have we been on the Panorama? Yeah, we were on the Panorama earlier this year with a Mexican Riviera cruise. It was really cool. Jacob Stalker, hey, what's up, buddy? I spent the weekend with Jacob Stalker. That's my son-in-law. And, man, we played Villainous. Do you guys know this board game, Villainous? They have, like, every version of Disney Villainous. And then I have the Marvel Villainous. They got me an expansion for my birthday. And then we also got the Star Wars Villainous. We gamed like crazy people. And then I bought a nostalgic game, like an old version of this game called Mills Born, off of Etsy. I'm waiting for that to come in because I wanted the one that came out in the 70s with the interesting green tray. If you know, you know. But that's the game I'll be teaching the stalkers the next time they're here. My brother Retro Sarge is here. Kenneth Smith with a question. Alaska, what departure and arrival ports do you recommend? I've only been out of Seattle, and I've gone to Skagway. I've gone to Icy Strait Point. I've gone to Ketchikan. I've gone to Juneau. Those are great. I'm ready. I think any of them are good. I think you're going to be fine going out of Seattle or going out of Vancouver, whichever is easier for you to get there. There's a lot of people that advocate for doing the land and sea, where you fly yourself up into Alaska, do a land tour, and then get on a cruise ship. I've never done that. But what I do know is I'm ready to go back to Alaska. I will plumb Alaska for all of its goodness until there is no more goodness to get. I have such a good time in Alaska 2 years in a row. This is going to be a yearly trip for us, but I don't think you can go wrong. Anybody have a strong opinion? Do you like Seattle? Do you like Vancouver? Do you like the land sea tour? Or just get to Alaska? I think that's the message. Just get to Alaska. Just get to Alaska. I'm not completely caffeinated yet. Let's see what we can do. Let's do. Oh, man, we're slacking. We got 8 more minutes. 682 likes. Only 2 thumbs down, too. I don't know, man. Like, yeah. Do better, thumbs down, people. Come on. You could. We should have 10 thumbs down by now. What port is in the opening title? That is the lovely St. Thomas from an Overlook. I like that. Sea Life with Us. Are there any stats on if non-vax cruisers are getting infected with the virus since restrictions are lifted? Nobody, well... I don't know of any public stats, right? So the CDC stopped taking or publishing stats at all. The cruise lines, they're not publishing stats. And again, I don't think anybody's checking, right? We're at that place in the virus now where people just have it. Like, you got it. Maybe you got to get quarantined. Maybe you don't. Maybe you go home. Maybe you don't. I don't think it's really that big a deal, or it's not, I'm not saying it's not that big of a deal, but I don't think it's being treated as a big of a deal. So as far as stats, I would say the answer to that question is no, I don't think there's any stats out there on what's happening, what's not happening. Question, cruising in the beginning of December, when do they start Christmas festivities? I would say most cruise lines have their Christmas decorations up in December. I've never cruised over Christmas. I've been on the Oasis early in December and Christmas decorations were up. I think if you're going to be on, as long as your cruise starts in December, I think you're going to have Christmas decorations. Kay Hathaway, I am a Carnival Platinum going on a Thanksgiving cruise on the Radiance. Have you been on the Radiance and a Thanksgiving cruise? Do you think they have a traditional meal? I've never been over Thanksgiving, but I've been close to Thanksgiving, and I believe there was a turkey dinner night. So I would say yes. Never been on the Radiance, so I'm not sure. Thanks, Carl, for liking your shirt. Carla, thanks for liking the pirate one. The shirt that I'm going to order tomorrow is the Sailor Zombie. Zombie. Any Cranberry fans out there? Isn't it sad that she's gone? But man, some great songs. Great songs. Jacob Wynn, I think I thanked you for the super chat. I'm sliding down to the bottom. So if you, Charlotte, hello, nerd girl travels. What part of Charlotte do you live in? We used to live in Uptown. We lived in Ballantyne. Look at me, I'm just acting like I know what Charlotte is. Don't tell us where you live, but I just wanted to be able to say I knew stuff about Charlotte. How about that? Question, does anyone do excursions when they do a full Panama Canal? Sue, I did. We didn't stop in Panama City, but we stopped in Colombia. We stopped all along the way, and I did excursions over there. I went to Cartagena and did excursions. Yeah, definitely excursions on the Panama Canal. Smash the like button. That's what the fam's saying. David Neal, question, do they do trick-or-treating on Halloween ships? Yes. on Carnival, there's usually a place for kids to walk around and trick or treat. Favorite cruise that I've ever done? Have you ever done the Mediterranean? Says Donna Cravens. I've got a lot of great cruise memories, and so it's like picking your favorite kid. Of course, going to Asia was so special. It was such a weird dichotomy to go into China and see what life was like in China. I used to manage a team of individuals in China when I worked for Fortune 500, and then to be there and to be able to reconcile some of the stories that the people that were on my team had talked about and some of the challenges of their lives, to actually be there and see that, to go to Shanghai Disneyland and see how much they love Disneyland, but then to leave China, which was a little heavy, and then go to Japan, which was a completely different vibe, and to do all that in a typhoon. That's one of the most memorable trips I've ever had. But when we went to Cuba, it was amazing. And then I've had so many great cruises just from just the ships and being with Jenny. And but yeah, anytime somebody asked me, I would do that Japan cruise again. It was pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. But the Alaska cruises the last 2 years, it's hard to be like down on any cruise. But if you can, to be fair about that question, if you've only cruised the Caribbean, I would challenge you to go somewhere else and just to see what it's like. Go to Alaska, go through the Panama Canal, go to Europe. That's the big goal next year, is to go to Europe, because the Caribbean's amazing, and I go to the Caribbean, 100% go to the Caribbean. But there's a lot of amazing places out there, so do that. North of Race City, USA, man, I've seen a race there in Concord before. Yeah, it's good stuff. What is going on now for Bermuda Port, says Diane. So they're getting rid of their testing protocols, their health protocols, on the 25th of November or October. And then I think on November the 1st, they're supposed to have, that doesn't make sense. Is that the right date? They're going to come up with a new plan, whether or not to still charge people like a travel visa to get in there. But they're definitely doing away with the health protocols. Shane Kelly, thank you so much for the super chat. Question: have you heard about Norwegian chatter about Norwegian leasing out the Breakaway for 6 months in New York? If so, could that affect the vlogger cruise? That would be interesting. Now I have not heard a ship name. Oh, could you imagine that? Could you imagine with us having that many? So I talked about it earlier in the week. The mayor's office in New York hinting that yes, they're in talks to charter out a cruise ship. Norwegian saying we can't say anything yet, no comment. But I didn't even consider it being the Breakaway. That would be trippy. I haven't heard the Breakaway bandied around. Have you seen that in an article? Did you just make that up because we're going on the vloggers cruise? Tell me, how did you get this information? The only thing I've heard is that they're having the conversation, but that would be wild. That would be a trip. We've had so many group cruises that we're doing with other people canceled because of the pandemic. That would be icing on the cake. That's a lot of work that everybody's done too. That'd be crazy. Are masks still required at the Tampa port? Carl, I've been out of there and I didn't have to wear a mask, so I say no. I say no. Eric Santana, thanks again for the super chat, Shane. Eric Santana, question: we have back to back on 3 cruises. 16th Virgin, November 21st Celebration, 28th Margaritaville. Have I done anything similar? You need some knowledge for your face. So you got side to sides, really. You're not going on the same cruise ship. So yeah, if you're getting off on one and going to the other, it's just the same thing. You're just going through a whole embarkation process again. Yeah, just make sure that you got, the cool thing is you probably won't have to have testing. That was the biggest challenge when we were doing side to sides over the last year, is like, how am I going to get tested for one going to another, since it's a different cruise line? Just make sure that before you go on the first cruise, make sure that you've got all your luggage tags printed out. Make sure that you got your boarding passes either shot on your phone. This is the thing that I do on any cruise. If I'm going to go digital and I need to have a code for my test and a code for my boarding pass, those are the last 2 pictures on my phone before embarkation. So embarkation morning, I'm screenshotting. If I had to have a Rive Cam, I'm screenshotting all of those codes. So those are the very last pictures in my camera roll, so that I'm showing, those things instead of anything else trying to go through my camera roll. Or if you're doing it paper style, before you leave your house, have all your paperwork printed out for all of those cruises and have it in a folder, have it ready to go, and keep it with you. I think that's the biggest thing, just getting from one cruise to the next. Make sure you have some sort of transportation. I would do carry-off luggage so that you could get off as early as possible, unless you don't have an early check-in time. You may want to look into a day hotel if you got to get off at one cruise ship at 8 o'clock and you can't get on the next one till 2 o'clock. those are some considerations. Where are you going to stay in between if you can't go from one cruise ship to another? So I hope that's some good information for your face. How about that? Jenny B is in the house. What's up, lovely Jenny B? I miss you sitting next to me, but I'm excited that you're taking a respite. Did you hear this thing that Shane said? I don't know if it's true or not, but could you imagine what would happen if the Breakaway got leased to New York? Because New York's in talks with NCL. I don't know of any ship, but could you imagine if that was the Breakaway and that would be crazy if they canceled that big group cruise. Kevin, I couldn't say Kevin. Kevin Martin, thank you so much for the super chat. Going to start solo cruising full-time starting in January. Any advice? Did 20 years in the Navy and miss life at sea. No, man, just make a plan and go for it. I mean, cruising is really easy to do. If you were in the Navy, you're used to procedures and protocols, so everything has a cadence on the cruise ship, from embarkation to muster drill to what you do while you're on the cruise ship, and then there's a cadence for getting off of it. Just learn that cadence and then just rinse and repeat. It's easy peasy lemon squeezy. That's great. Congratulations on that lifestyle. Super chat came through twice with the same message, so I don't know if you meant to do that, but thank you for the super chats. But yeah, you're going to be fine. It's especially as a solo, it's really easy. Just pack light and have a blast. How about that? Jessica Rega, any updates on the Carnival Jubilee? I haven't heard anything about the Carnival Jubilee. I don't know if anything's going on with that. But good question. Anybody know anything about the Jubilee? Marco Zaff, thank you so much for the super sticker. Keep it up. Keep it up. Let's see. Let's talk a little bit about the hurricane. I guess this time last week we were uncertain as to what would happen. When you live in Florida, it's hard because the predictive models of where a hurricane's going to go many times are incorrect. And so early in the week, there was so much concern for Tampa Bay and areas north of Tampa. I live about 45 minutes north of Tampa, but we've been here long enough, and Jenny's had enough experience, and we've got enough experience to know that the models aren't always going to hold. And so, 24, 48 hours before the hurricane came ashore, the whole model shifted south. And so while they did a great job of evacuating everybody from the Tampa Bay area, it did not leave a lot of time for people that were south of Tampa Bay to get out of the way of the storm. And we were fine here. We just got some outer bands. We never lost power. We've got one spot that leaks in our roof sometimes when it rains hard, like we're working on getting that fixed. It didn't even leak. So we never got hard enough rain for the thing that normally leaks during a hard storm here. We were very fortunate, but unfortunately, our fortune came at the misfortune of others. A lot of people's fortune came at the misfortune of others, and people got wrecked and devastated. And like Sanibel Island, Captiva, you can't even get out there. I've been watching videos, people taking boats out there, and everything they have is destroyed. So it's like, what do you do, man? What do you do? Hopefully you've got insurance to pay for the stuff. Unfortunately, you some people lost their lives in that thing. So it's kind of, it's just sad and tragic. So the update for us is that we made it through the hurricane without much event, but it's not without a recognition that people are challenged. And it's horrible. That's the hurricane update. I'm down at the bottom. Sue Hadler questions, where's a good place in Miami to stay that has shuttle service from the airport to the hotel and hotel to the port? I stayed at the downtown Marriott, I believe it was, or the Hilton downtown. Hilton downtown has a shuttle service. I was going to recommend Radisson Red by the airport, but I don't know that they have a shuttle service. I just took like an Uber over there. They had an airport shuttle, but I don't know if they had a cruise port shuttle. Actually, I met some people that came back from a cruise port. If you want to stay a little less expensive than staying right down on the cruise port, check with that Radisson Red and see if they have a shuttle service. I think they do. It's a nice hotel, easy to get to from the airport, and they shuttle you back and forth, I'm pretty sure. But if not, you can stay at one of the downtown hotels, and I stayed at the, I feel like it was the Hilton downtown. Hilton downtown. It's like a weird black outside building. That should get it for you. Question, any thoughts on Carnival stock dropping so low, said Eric. Well, it's challenging. I didn't even notice it, so I own a decent amount of Carnival stock. I didn't get it at a great price. I think I got some in the $14 range. I think I got some more in the $10 range. And I didn't even know that it dropped till 7 until Saturday, right? So I've got, we've got the thing on our phone. Like if you swipe far enough over, I got the stock ticker there. And sometime on Saturday, I swiped all the way over and I saw that the thing was at $7. And I was like, oh my gosh, I bought more yesterday, so I in my mind I still can't conceive that Carnival would go out of business. But I'm not a stock analyst. I'm not a financial guru. I know a little bit about business. I can't imagine Carnival going bankrupt. I bought some more to try to average it down, but I could just lose all my money. And so be careful if you're buying stock. But it's troubling. But yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, it's just the way it goes, though, because they had to give their earnings report. They came in with less than what they thought. Yeah, what they need to do is start charging more for cruises and cruise with less people. Norwegian did a good job of keeping their prices high. I think the thing that's hurting Carnival is they're filling up all their ships, but they're filling it up at a discounted price. And so, they're having to charge for more stuff. They're having to reduce services. They're struggling with staffing, and they're getting a bunch of people on board that aren't making them a lot of money. And so I think they got to get that onboard spend up. They got to charge more to get onto the cruise ship. I think they can do it. I think they'll still fill up cruise ships, but man, there's been some cheap Carnival cruises. I think they even said it in their earnings call that they're going to be adjusting prices up because it's not sustainable to keep discounting these cruises. I think that's what hurt the stock a little bit. Again, I'm not a stock guy, so I don't know. A question from J. Farrell, 79. How much popcorn is left from the huge bag? I think there's like half a bag still. That's a big bag of popcorn. Sometimes I'll just go in with a bowl, and watch some YouTube videos with just a bowl of popcorn, but that seems like the never-ending bag. So yeah, there's still a lot of popcorn there. Let's see. Question, where do we get the discount trips? I guess Carnival's always got, make sure that you're signed up with all of your cruise lines, that you give them your email address. Oh, Jenny sent me a message. Make sure you're signed up with all the cruise lines. That way they'll send you their latest discounts, that kind of thing. Also work with a travel agent. A lot of times they have access to deals. The people are getting deals all over the place. You just got to look for them. But I always start with making sure that your email and an email that you check is signed up with the cruise line. Let me see. Oh, yeah. So Jenny, interestingly enough, sometimes it's interesting. We've had a couple experiences where our family members will realize that somebody knows us, but they don't know that that we're related to the family member. I think that's what happened. I know it's happened for me. I had a cousin one time who walked into her office, and there was somebody watching a Lido, Loca video, and she was like, "That's my cousin." And the lady was like, "No way, that's your cousin." So anyways, a big shout out to Eddie and Jenny who watch us and that knows, I think, Jenny's uncle. How about that? It's a small world. Shout out to you guys. And thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks everybody for watching. But shout out to Eddie and Jenny. How about that? Let's see. Did we get there? We didn't even get there. It's 9:28. Jenny's going to make fun of me because I told her we would get to 9:20. You guys are making me look bad in front of my wife. Come on, man. All right. I'm not answering another question until we get to 1,000 likes. It's only 55 more likes. There's 1,300 people in here. Just smash the like button. If you're on your mobile phone, sometimes it's hard to understand how to hit the like button. You can hit the X. You can hit the X. We're going to simulate it with my hand. You can hit the X, close out the chat, just hit the like button or the thumbs down, thumbs up, thumbs down, and then hit the button that says live chat and you'll be back to the chat. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. 28 more to go. I'm going to answer more questions. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to hold you hostage. David Deanna, question. First cruise on Carnival Vista on the 15th. Husband saw a cartel warning for Mexican, Caribbean, Cancun, and Cozumel. Is this new or would they change ports? Yeah, if the cruise ship, if it's not safe, they've canceled that port before because of cartel stuff. So cruise line's going to keep you, they're not going to go there. I mean, I don't want to say they're not going to go there if it's not safe. You still have to be situationally aware. So if you're going to a place where you're concerned about your safety, I would do a heck of a bunch of research before I got off of that ship. But as a thought process, this would be the worst PR story if a cruise ship took you somewhere and something happened to you because of a cartel. So, again, you gotta assess your own risk factor. You got to study what's going on in that situation. But maybe even talk to the people on the cruise ship and say, what's the safety? Is there any safety concerns? Maybe just stay with a ship excursion. Don't wander around on your own. That kind of thing. Let's see. I have to scold somebody. Cruising Thomas, did you see anything about Carnival charging $500 for fights and bad behavior? Are we just thinking that Cruising Thomas doesn't know that I make a daily news show? The thumbnail for today's show says Carnival charges $500 for fights. I did like a whole 8-minute diatribe on what I thought about this. I mean, I'm glad you're here tonight, Cruising Thomas. But man, I thought everybody would have done their homework before they got here. Yeah, so that was the big story today. So a couple weeks ago, Carnival added language to their code of conduct saying that if you misbehave, could have been a month ago, we're going to ban you for life. We're going to kick you off of a Carnival cruise ship. And there were still some fights after that. There was some confirmation from Carnival that those people that were in the fights did get banned for life, right? They didn't publish the names or anything, but the brand ambassador, John Heald, said, yes, we have kicked some people off. Well, still, in light of the stock earnings and all that, maybe people are worried about the safety on the Carnival cruise ship. They've taken it one step further, and they've added language to their code of conduct and said, look, not only could you get banned, but while you're on the cruise, we might charge you $500 for violating the code of conduct, and we're going to charge you extra money for the security that we may have to use to post outside your door. So that's what happens sometimes. Like if you get a bunch of people that they don't have a jail super big on the cruise ship, so they'll just lock you in your room and they'll post security outside your room so you cannot leave your room. Now they're going to say, look, we're going to charge you $500 for violating the conduct, and you're going to have to pay for the security guard. And if we disembark you at the next port, you're going to have to pay for that also. I don't know how they're going to do that. Like, are they going to charge it to your shipboard account, that kind of thing? But yeah, that's what's going down in Funky Town. I hope that we get to see some confirmation of that happening or not happening. I mean, ideally, I hope that nobody would ever fight on a cruise ship. But if it does happen, they're going to have to follow through with it, because if they don't take a tough stance on this, and look, these fights are not really, we hear about it because it's a outlier, because it's like, oh wow, there was a fight on a cruise ship, because it's not normal. There, I've been on 30-something cruises, never seen a fight. I've been on 7 or 8 Carnival cruises, never seen a fight. I asked people in the comments one day, most people have not seen a fight on a cruise ship, so this is an outlier event, but when it happens, it gets a lot of press. And so the negative press is pushing into Carnival, and they have to push back and say, all right, well, we have to take a stance. And so they're going to have to take a stance to see if this actually changes anything or not. It's going to be interesting. Thank you for the question, but watch the show every day. How about that? No, I'm just kidding. I'm teasing you. Tanya Eden, thank you so much for the super chat. Going on a cruise October the 28th in Miami, driving from Kentucky. Should we be concerned about the drive through Florida? Sorry if this is a dumb question. October the 28th. No, unless something happens now, I believe that side of the state is fine. You should be able to drive all the way down to Miami. It's the southwest coast over here that, and really toward the coastline, that's got trouble. So I haven't heard of anything not being open. It's not a bad question at all. But continue to watch what's going on in Florida. We're not out of hurricane season yet. There could be something else going on over there. All right, we got to 1,000 likes. We did it. I'm going to say we did it by 9:15. How about that? I'm just teasing you. Eric Granger, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you for all the great content you provide my daily cruising fix. Thank you, Eric, for watching. I recognize a lot of names in here that comment on the daily, that jump in on the show in the first hour. Much love. Much love to the Loca fam. Dana, thank you so much for the super chat. See you on the Celebration 2023. Yeah, we're going to be on 2022. I don't know when, but we are going to be on this year. I can't wait to check it out. I think I said in the show the other day that there's no Emerald on the Celebration, but I guess there is. I don't know how I missed it, so I'm thinking that. Let's see. Oh, Janet said she saw the Broadway Unplugged on NCL. Saw it, and it was a great show, right? I forgot how good that show was. I just remembered it as you said it. What a great show. That's right. There is a tropical depression heading into the Caribbean. I saw that today. I'm trying not to think about it too much. Let's see. Can't wait to see your take on Mardi Gras versus Celebration. Yeah, me too, Megan. The challenge for us is when we went on the Mardi Gras last year, it was our first group cruise back since the shutdown, and it was a madhouse. And so I think I spent most of that cruise just trying to make sure that everybody that came to see us was having a good time. So I didn't really get to soak in the nuances of the Mardi Gras. And so I almost need to go on the Mardi Gras again and then the Celebration. But hopefully the Celebration will do it. We'll do it. Any plans to go out of NYC anytime soon? Nicole, I'd love to. Like, of course, Jenny's from Long Island. I've only been to New York for, like, not great reasons, right? We had to go for, Yeah, we've been for a good reason too. We went for Christmas one time, but the last couple times have been for not great reasons. I would really like to go to the city and take it all in. I want to go to the museums and go to the comedy clubs there, and I would love to sail out of New York. We don't have anything on the books yet. We're trying to figure out what we're going to do early next year that involves Europe, but no, I would love to do it. I'd love to sail out by the Statue of Liberty and check that out. Mary Cottrell, thank you so much for the super sticker. John Burnett, thank you for the super chat. Going on a Mediterranean cruise out of Haifa, Israel on the NCL Epic in November. Have you thought about a Mediterranean cruise? Yes. So the goal right now, the bucket list, at least for me, and I think Jenny's on board with it, we want to go to Europe next year. Well, actually, really just want to go transatlantic, British Isles cruise up into Scandinavia, something there. And then maybe Australia, depends, next year. But then eventually we'd like to get into the Med. I would love to go tour Israel too. So it's all on the list. It's just a matter of timing. And but I think the British Isles, Scandinavia, I think that's going to happen first. Will tests drop indefinitely? Yes, eventually there'll be no test. We're getting there, right? Like, I think that it's mostly no tests for vaccinated folks. And now we see Norwegian dropping tests for non-vaccinated folks. So it's happening. I mean, nothing happens quickly. So, yeah. Mariner of the Seas offer ice skating like freedom. Gosh, I've been on Mariner. I feel like there was an ice skating show. Anybody been on Mariner? I think so. I think there is ice skating, though. But can anybody help verify that? Good question, Nathan. Texas, a girl. Any good hotels in Fort Lauderdale by the port? We like to stay at this place called Hyatt Place at Dania Beach. It's about 15 minutes from the port. Really great hotel. They have a shuttle service. There's good food there, that kind of thing. Jenny's taking the night off. She worked really hard all weekend, and she's here in the chat. But, man, she's just chillaxing after getting final payments for like 250 cabins for the big group cruise. The big group cruise. There is verification from JB. Thank you, JB. There is an ice rink on the Mariner of the Seas. Teresa with a question. Have you cruised on the Anthem of the Seas? Love your channel. So glad to have found it. I've never been on Anthem. Is Anthem a Oasis class? I don't know. I've been on a few different classes on Royal Caribbean. I've been on the Quantum Plus. I've been on Oasis. I'm not sure what the Freedom and the Mariner is. I've been on Adventure. I don't think I've been on Freedom. I've been on Adventure and Mariner, but never on Anthem. Anybody got some love or some information about Anthem, drop it in the comments below. Shane, thank you for another super chat. I'm thrilled to be a patron of all 2 hours. Love your content and cannot wait to meet you both in January. Shane, thanks for the support both on Patreon and here. Looking forward to meeting you also. Roger Beck, thank you so much for the super chat. It's gonna be wild, Shane, if they cancel our cruise. Question: I missed your review on Holland. Overall, did you love them? I haven't been on Holland, Tammy, so I don't have any way to do a review. So no Holland cruise yet. Hoping to get on one at some point. Anthem is the Quantum class. So yeah, I've been on the Odyssey and I've been on the Spectrum, which I think are Quantum Plus, which I liked it. I like the 270. I like the multi-use room in the back. I also like the Sportsplex. Those are good. I haven't done an adult Happy Meal from McDonald's yet. I've been watching a lot of it on social media. I feel like I should do that. I feel like I should go get the adult. Look, I have had a Big Mac from a McDonald's lately, and it's different. Like, it's not that saucy anymore. I'm a little disappointed. I think what are you guys getting in your adult Happy Meal? I guess I'd go nuggets. I'd go chicken nuggets. Chicken nuggies, man. Lido, Loca, stop it. What am I doing, Jenny B? I don't know what I did. What did I do? Oh, talking about the breakaway? Yeah. Breakaway. Have we been on the Ruby Princess? Is it worth it to get the Wi-Fi drink gratuity all together? Sandra, I don't know that we've been on the Ruby. We've been on the... gosh. I got to put a list of ships in front of me now. I guess I'm starting to stack up enough where I don't know what I've been on. Been on the Sky Princess. Been on the Majestic Princess. We went on just the whatever the newest one is. I don't know, but we've had... The Sky Princess actually had the best internet we've ever had. Been on the Island Princess. It had good internet. Overall, I feel like the internet on Princess is pretty workable. So if internet's something that you need, I think you would be okay to get it. Again, I always buy the upgraded internet, so I don't know about the regular thing. A question: what do you think about MSC charging only $999 per person for 26-day cruise next May? It sounds pretty typical for MSC. They do a good job with their pricing, and you will find better per day prices on longer cruises than short cruises. So yeah, if you like MSC, I would that's actually sound $1,000 for 26 days. Sign me up. What's that, like $40-something a day before port fees and gratuities? That kind of thing. That sounds pretty sexy if you got the time. Group cruise, our schedule for the group cruise, check out the Firestorm link right there, LaLidoLoca.com, group cruise. We got like 4 or 5 of them right now. Question, can you call me Tony Macaroni? You call me anything you want. I probably won't answer your call, though. So, yeah, whatever makes you feel good in your quiet space. If you're looking at me on the screen and going, there's Tony Macaroni. It sounds creepy when you say it out loud. But, yeah, feel free. Feel free, Malicious Mango. Let's see. Question, Tony and Jenny, can you all call my wife and tell her not to cancel our November 12th cruise? I'm trying to push back my surgery. All we can do is say it here, Cruising Thomas, so record me. Hey, Cruising Thomas's wife, don't cancel their cruise. He's going to be okay. Actually, maybe you should get the surgery. I don't know. Let's see. Have you earned free cruises for playing in the casino? What are your thoughts? Do you think it's worth trying? Holly, we have been offered a free casino, like after our last Royal on the Harmony. I think Jenny got a free cruise, like a free interior. A lot of people do it. I mean, I think that's the way a lot of people cruise. And I think you can pay a little extra to get like a balcony or something like that. If you're going to gamble anyways, and you're not like throwing away all your money, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to treat the gambling as entertainment, right? And so if you can do something that's entertaining for you and then eventually get a free cruise, I think that's good. I don't think I'm ready to try to work some sort of system where if I do this or that, I can get a free cruise. I like it when it comes organically or naturally like that from gambling, but yeah, it's definitely something that happens. Definitely something that happens. Question, have you any updates on the icon of the seas? I haven't really been tracking along with it. I'm kind of funny, like until the thing gets on the scene, I don't really care. I probably should, but it seems like there's enough going on. I mean, we had all the hurricane coverage and stuff like that. Maybe on a slow news day or something, I'll be digging into the icon, but yeah, until it shows up, I don't know. I'm not into it. Sassafras. I was hoping that's what your name said. You remind me of root beer. Sassafras. Thank you for the super chat. Tony, what do you think about NCL for teens? We've only cruised with Carnival so far due to the all kid-friendly activities, waterworks. What does NCL offer for this age group that competes with CCL? Since I'm not taking kids, I don't really pay that much attention to it. But I do know, like on the big Norwegian ships, they got the go-karts. They got some virtual reality stuff. They got escape rooms. They got water slides. Royal's the one that pops out of my mind. Carnival does great too, but Royal pops out with, like, I think of the sports deck back there with the zip line and the flow rider and the rock climbing wall. I in my mind, and you guys comment on this because maybe you cruise with kids. I feel like you can't go wrong with Carnival, Norwegian, or Royal when it comes to cruising with kids. I think the decision point, I think there's going to be enough for kids on all three of those lines. I think the decision point is really how the adults want to cruise. Do you want the Carnival vibe? Do you want the Royal vibe? Do you want the Norwegian vibe? But I think all three of those are going to provide stuff for your kids. But good question. Somebody with kids, which line do you like the best? Sassafras, thank you for the super chat. Lucretia Boutard, thank you so much for the super chat. Miss your face. Maybe that's for Jenny B, because my face is always here. Thank you so much. Or maybe you're talking about my beard. I don't know. Thank you so much for the super chat. Let's see. Tessa Almond is in the house. Steve Sherman, what's going on? Thank you so much for the super chat. Question, someone asked earlier if casino cruises count toward your loyalty points. I believe so, yeah. Anytime that you're booked on it, well, I don't know. Let me not be too hasty on that. I think so, as long as you're, I don't know, do free cruises, anybody know, do free cruises count toward your loyalty points? I think they give those loyalty points out regardless. I don't think they want to rock the boat. So, does Royal have a vibe? Yeah, definitely Royal has a vibe. I would say it's, it's not like a heavy party vibe. How would I describe Royal's vibe? I think Royal is like an overall like entertainment vibe, at least to me. Like so much that's going on that ship is geared toward entertainment. Like if you think of the Royal Promenade, there's always music going on. There's always live music in places like Boleros and in the pub. And then there's always great shows on Royal. So I think Royal actually has a kind of an upbeat entertainment vibe, a music vibe. I would almost say that. Let's see. Question, do you think Carnival will ever drop everything too? And if so, when do you think they will announce it? Yeah, I think eventually they will. It's hard to predict when they'll do these things. Again, a lot of it comes on the tail end of something else changing. But I think as one cruise line does it, they will. Maybe in the next 2 months, maybe 3 months. I would rather say it's going to take a long time and then have it happen quickly than think it's going to happen quickly and then be disappointed. But a question from Nana Kim's Travel. Are you going to meet up with Dawn on a cruise anytime soon? Yes. I don't know the dates on these, but we're going back on the Wonder of the Seas, I think, for just like a 2-day cruise or a 3-day cruise. And I think Dawn's going to be on that. So I think I'll see Dawn pretty soon. Yes, casino does count toward your loyalty points. It seemed right, but I didn't want to just throw it out there. Thank you guys for answering that question. Thank you, Chuck, for answering that question, and other people that answered the question. All right, I'm going to get a little drink. Thank you, Eric. That's a good answer. Yeah, I've never seen him not give loyalty points for stuff. All right. Wow, 1,300 likes. 4 thumbs down. Can we get to 10 thumbs down? I mean, don't change your thumbs down, but if you're out there and you're on the fence whether or not to give a thumbs up or thumbs down, why don't you just hit a thumbs down? What is the vibe on NCL? So NCL, to me, in a couple ways, they do a good job with sports. That's a weird thing, right? But whenever there's sporting events, there's usually a bunch of people that are interested in sports, and NCL feels like rock and roll to me. Rock and roll. That's what I think. So Carnival feels like a party. Royal feels like a middle-of-the-road kind of chill entertainment, and NCL feels like rock and roll to me. How about that? I could probably go deeper in my thought process on it, but that's what I think about. Have I done Disney, and which cruise line is your favorite? I have done Disney once. I'm not rushing back to do Disney. Not a huge Disney fan. And my favorite cruise line is the next one that I'm going on. So I think I've been on... If we would have been able to go on HAL, that would have been the 10th different cruise line that I've been on over 33 cruises. So I've really played the field when it comes to cruising, and it's kind of hard. I said last week, if somebody gave me $2,000 and told me to book a cruise, I would probably book a Norwegian cruise at this point in my life. If you asked me that 2 years ago, I might have said Royal. If you asked me that 3 years ago, I might have said Carnival. It really just depends what mood I'm in right now. Right now, I just want to go hear Guns N' Roses on the NCL ship. I enjoy the casino on NCL. I enjoy the music on NCL. That's where I'm at right now. But it's not maybe where I would be at in the future. Actually, if I could go on another cruise probably for free right now, and I knew for sure that Jenny would want to go, like she could go, I would take her on a Virgin cruise right now, just because I think that's a cool experience that she hasn't had yet. Nathan Castile, thank you so much for the super sticker. The super sticker says, how's it going? Man, it's going fan-freaking-tastic. How about that? Lucretia says, 20 of us going on the NCL Encore. Any advice for traveling that big? I'll take the good, the bad, and the ugly. What do you guys want to do? Are you wanting to hang out together? No, look, whenever you travel with that many people, I say before you go, you guys get in a big group chat or on a text message or in a Facebook group and go, look, we're not all 20 going to do the same thing all the time. Let's pick one time a day where we do get together. Maybe in the afternoon. There's an observation lounge on deck 15 that can easily get 20 people together to chat and to have a good time. We did that with the group cruise. I would just pick one time a day where you guys do something as a 20-person thing, or 20 of you go to teppanyaki, something like that. But set the expectation with your group that, look, there's no way that 20 of us are going to be able to do stuff all at once. Let's figure out a way to communicate where 10 of us are going to be or 5 of us are going to be. But maybe once a day we go to that observation lounge. They have snacks in the afternoon, like a high tea, but it's not like a tea service. They just have a place where you can go put stuff on a plate and get some drinks. I would say let's all meet in the afternoon when we can and just check in with each other. I don't know if that's helpful or not. I don't know what your crew's like, but that's what I would do. RCL or RC or NC, what's the better food in your opinion? Gosh, I would have to I don't know. So I'm kind of past main dining room right now. Like, I'm not even going to main dining room. I think I like Royal's main dining room better than NCL's main dining room. From a food perspective, I think both buffets are pretty equal. I mean, I think NCL wins it with the local or Oceans. I like that place for casual, 24-hour food. But I do also like the Royal Promenade. I would say I like Sorrento's pizza. I don't even know what pizza they have on NCL, honestly, because I don't think I ever eat pizza on NCL. But I like Sorrento's. It's a toss-up. I mean, again, like if the food is your deciding factor, I would see what maybe specialty dining you're thinking about having. Like I would take Chops over Cagney's for sure, but I would probably take the French restaurant over like Park 150 on the, going that way. But yeah, I think you're fine either way. I know that's not a good answer, but if pizza is a thing for you, I would definitely go Royal. Question: have we been on the Magic? We will be documenting our Thanksgiving cruise on the Magic. Sea life with us. I've not been on the Magic, but I know that people like that. Russell, please do a collaboration video with Matt from Royal Caribbean blog. To my favorite, I have. So there's one on the channel where we had a nice long conversation. So if you haven't seen that, make sure that you go check it out. You could probably type Lido, Loca, Royal Caribbean blog, and it would pop up. Question: do you see a lot of babies on ships? We've been dying to get back on ships, and we have an 8-month. I don't see a lot of babies. I have seen babies on cruise ships. You're definitely going to be in the minority if you're toting around an 8-month-old. But I do believe there's some. I don't know how old they have to be to get services. But yeah, but there's not going to be a lot of people on there. I mean, a lot of other babies. It'd be interesting. Maybe look for a Facebook group or something that cruising with babies. I wonder if anybody has that. Maybe y'all could coordinate when you go. I mean, I'm not being goofy about it. Maybe there is a group of people out there with the kids that age. That would be a ingenious thing to do. Have a themed cruise with babies so that people could be together. That's pretty neat. Curtis Lee tips on doing back-to-back cruises. Just make sure that you got all your paperwork ready. Back-to-back's pretty easy, especially if you're staying in the same cabin. They're just going to walk you off and walk you back through customs. There's no testing right now for most cruise lines, so it's pretty easy. Just make sure that you have all your stuff, all your ducks in a row before you go. See the World with Chris. I would agree. I do believe that the Carnival Steakhouse is better than Chops. The Fahrenheit 55. No, I can't remember what it was called on the Liberty, but I had that steakhouse on the Liberty, and it was better than anything that I'd had for a while. Let's see. Nervous talk. Would you rather? This is an interesting. Would you rather that fortunately won't have to happen. Oh, where'd it go? Would you rather make a 1-hour step-by-step towel animal folding tutorial or incur a 1-year cruising ban? Yeah, I would make the tutorial. I wouldn't take a cruising ban. I could do anything for an hour. Probably take me 5 hours to make that video, but I can do anything for that. Let's see. Question: Tony, is that illusion still going on the Le Chef on Equinox? I just saw the video last night. I think so. La Petite Chef. I would definitely do it on the Equinox and not like the Apex or the Edge, because on the, I think it is. I haven't heard of it going away. La Petite Chef. The Equinox has its own enclosed restaurant. I didn't like it. We did it on the Apex, and I didn't like it because it was open to the atrium, and so the whole time you were trying to listen to La Petite Chef, you could hear the band from the atrium, which was not fun. Not fun. What to order at JB Steakhouse? I had a big old steak, Heather. Like, I think I had a ribeye. It was delicious. Everything that I had there was good. I can't remember what it was, but it was all good. Yeah, the Liberty Steakhouse has a different name than that Fahrenheit 555. Palmer's on holiday. Question: hi from New Zealand. Which cruise line have you found to be the best for live tribute style bands? I mean, Norwegian they're committed to having so on the Norwegian Encore, they had the Beatles tribute band, which was fantastic. And they also had a band that every night they would do cover songs from another band. So like when they did a whole night dedicated to Fleetwood Mac's Rumors album, and it was awesome. So yeah, I would again, Norwegian. Maybe this is why I'm dealing with Norwegian, because I've had a lot of good experiences there lately. But again, if you put me on 4 Royals in a row, I'm gonna come back and go, man, I love them Royal ships. That's the beautiful thing about that cruise life. It's, cruising's a lot like pizza. When it's good, it's really good. And when it's bad, it's still pretty good. Tenacious T, thank you so much for the super chat. Love your channel. Discovered you because you're the spitting image of my BIL. What's BIL? Brother-in-law? Brother-in-law. I'm a TA and love your daily updates. Keep on keeping on. Thank you so much. I will definitely be keeping on. We're very lucky to be living this cruise life and making infotainment for you guys. And so thank you for the kind words. Thank you for the support. And whenever you look at your brother-in-law, just say carousing, and then give him a how about that, and he'll look at you and be like, I don't know what you're talking about. But still, that'd be pretty funny. Let's see. You're welcome, Texas girl. Thank you for your views. Enjoy your program, even when your jokes get people upside down. That's right. Yeah, sometimes that's the problem about making jokes. Like, they're not going to land with everybody, but yeah. Question: what is your top tip for Oasis of the Seas? We're going next month. My top tip is there's a lot to do on there. Make your reservations for when you get on there. This is true for Royal. I think it's true for actually most of the cruise lines. Norwegian. If you're going to do specialty dining on any of these cruise lines, make your reservations on day one as soon as you get on the cruise ship. Some cruise lines require reservations for shows. Royal is one of them. So I would spend the first hour, and do this in the buffet or something, wherever you're eating lunch, go ahead and try to figure out what shows and what dining things you want to do. Make that list out and make your reservations. That would be my top tip, and then go from there. But at least get some stuff locked in that you want to do so that you're not scrambling to try to get a reservation. So there you go. Tony, please confirm that I don't have to test if I've been vaccinated going on Carnival. I can't confirm it. So, I only know what I know, but the best thing to do if you really want confirmation, you got to check the Carnival website. Carnival. I don't think that, I think Carnival's one that dropped the vaccinated, but no, I think you'll have to test, right? So that's what I'm saying. The only cruise line that I've heard that you don't have to test is Norwegian, but that could change by next month. So, unfortunately, Yola of Dallas, you're going to have to check with them just to make sure. What do I think of Princess? I like Princess. Princess is super chill, though. It just depends what you want to get into. So we went back to back. So we went side to side on Alaska. So we went the Norwegian Encore for the group cruise, and then we followed that up with the new Princess ship. What is the new Princess ship called, Jenny? I can't remember. We had a really good time on Norwegian. We had a really good time on that Princess ship, but it felt a lot more laid back. There was a day that we were on there with nothing to do, and it felt, I don't want to say we're bored, right? It's up to you to not be bored on a cruise ship. We could have, entertained ourselves, but everything that was going on the cruise ship was not that exciting. So, the Princess is a laid-back vibe, and it's definitely a great vibe when you're wanting to be laid back. But I feel like that second week in Alaska, I was pretty hyper, and I was looking for a hyper vibe, and the hyper vibe was not there. But again, that's my experience. You might not be as hyper as me. You might enjoy the laid back, but I would not turn down a Princess cruise. I would not kick a Princess cruise out of bed. I'll tell you that much. Dates for the Vloggers cruise, I don't know. It's like the end. It's like the last week in January. Gotta check that website. I don't know all these dates off the top of my head. Are we going to try to go to Canada again? Yeah, it'll probably have to be next season because I think they're done. I haven't tried out Starlink yet, but I'm looking forward to it because I know that it's good. Must-dos on Mardi Gras. Go to any of the shows that they're having in the Central Park area. Not Central Park. Grand Central. Go to any of those shows and then go check out whatever rock band they have in the Pig and Anchor. Both of those were great times. Question, my take on Celebrity. I like Celebrity too. So Celebrity and Princess live in the same space in my mind. Princess is classical music. Celebrity is jazz. And so all of those are a little elevated from your standard Carnival Royal Norwegian. It's more an elevated kind of vibe. Celebrity feels like it's people who like to drink good liquor and, listen to jazz music and just to have that kind of vibe. That's the best way I can describe it. Take from it what you will. And then, Princess is more of a classical music kind of vibe in my mind. But both of those are good. Are we diamond level for every cruise line? I don't think so. I've only been on 30-something cruises. We only started in 2017, and we've done 9 different cruise lines. So there's no way that you're going to get... I don't really... no shame on anybody that's grinding loyalty. I'm not into the loyalty grind. I think eventually I'll get there. There's some great perks, laundry, that kind of stuff. But right now, whatever it costs for laundry, $30, $50, I would rather do that and try a bunch. I'd rather pay the $50 and try a bunch of different cruise lines than grind that loyalty. So we're not on a loyalty grind. So I don't even know where we're at on a lot of these. Question, can I use my onboard credit to pay for dining or excursions of others in my cabin? I think so. Like if they're all on your same payment account, I would say yes. But if you have separate accounts set up for payment, maybe not. You might be able to gift it. I would check with like the customer service. You might be able to gift it, but most of the time, as long as you're all on the same Sail and Sign account, you can do that. Andy D is in the house. What's up? Question. Okay, I answered that question. 958. Wow. Okay. Oh, we got the 11 thumbs down. All right. So almost 1,500 thumbs up. I think we can do it. I don't know if you haven't hit the thumbs up. See if we can hit the thumbs up. I'll stay here for about 5 more minutes. I know there's another show coming on after this. I think Nautical Nurse Nancy usually comes on after this. So, but yeah, we'll do about 5 more minutes and then we'll get off. No show next week. We're going to be out of town. We got some plans this weekend, so no live show next week. But yeah, we'll probably be back the week after that. Curtis, I talked on back-to-back cruises earlier, so again, check the replay. Check the replay. I just talked about Princess. It is fluffy friendly. The main theater, not as fluffy friendly. I have to squeeze my butt into the seats, and sometimes I get bruised. So that's the only challenge with the Princess is the theater. Not done Navigator of the Seas. All right. Anyone? Any other questions? It's an eerie silence that's come over the room. Will I ever bring back the after show? Oh, I don't know, Paper City Jeff. That was fun. I get tired of stuff though, like jokes feel played out to me, and the after show was fun. But yeah, I don't know that this software really works that well for after show. Matt Harris, no plans to cruise Disney at all. Like maybe when I have grandkids, maybe, or if somebody in my family really loves Disney. But yeah, the one and done was enough for me. It's expensive. There's no casino, and I didn't like it. Steve Sherman, thank you for the super chat. We prefer your cruise daily show the most. Over what? I don't know what you don't have to choose. you can have it all. LaRon Painter, thank you so much for the super sticker. You're amazing. How about that? You just got Keanu'd. You're amazing. We have not planned our next Holland America cruise. I think that the new Stadendam's going to come down here to Florida. It might be one of those deals where we jump on and go to the Caribbean just to get on a Holland ship. I feel like paying for it too. Like it could be a blessing in disguise that we didn't get the free trip. I know that sounds weird. I know you guys may not understand it based on some of the comments I got on that, but I kind of like paying for my own cruises, just making it part of the business where I just have to pay, because then I don't feel beholden to anybody. It's weird, right? It's weird, but I mean, at least it's, I don't know. I'm sure that sounds dumb. Like, oh, just take as many free cruises as you want. But it's something weird when you're taking a free cruise. Question, about to take our first cruise. It will be our honeymoon, going to be on the Explorer of the Seas, and we'll be going to the ABC Islands. Any tips for either? I've not done either one of those. How about that? I'm going to Aruba on the Halloween group cruise. That'll be my first time, and I think we might be going to Bonaire also. We're either going to the B or the C during that cruise, so that'll be my first time that far into the Southern Caribbean. So I'll be able in November to talk about Aruba. But anybody out there with the info, recommendations on Aruba or the Explorer of the Seas, throw it in the chat. Do we wear seasick patches? Asked Donna Long. No, I've been very fortunate. We don't get seasick. I even survived a typhoon, a class 1 hurricane, as it were, in Japan, and did not get seasick. So Jenny's the same way. We're very lucky. Do I like MSC? Yes, I like MSC, but I don't know that everybody would like MSC. I like MSC because there's a great diversity of people. There's people from all over the world there. They have interesting, weird entertainment, a lot of European circus arts. The ships are beautiful, and the price is right. For that, I like it. But if you're not into that kind of weirdness, diversity, that kind of thing, I don't know that everybody would like it. There's been a lot of people that don't like MSC, but I think everybody should try it once because the price is definitely right just to try it. Thank you, Jim, for hitting the dislike button. Did we get? Yeah, we got over 10 dislikes. Oh, we got over 1,500 likes. You guys rocked the Casbah. Question: if you call the cruise lines, can you get extra perks or better deals? I don't know, Robin. Like most of the time, their best deals on their website. But yeah, I mean, it never hurts to call. Sometimes they'll call in a cruise line. You have to wait for a long time. I really advocate. Now, of course, we have a travel business. I'm not saying call us, but I'm just saying the cool thing about using a travel agent, a travel professional, is they have all kinds of experience, and you get to use that experience for free. It's like having the best baseball coach, or I don't know what the good analogy is, but it's like, somebody who's knee deep in cruising that's booked, like Jenny's booked thousands of cruises. And so you could use Jenny, her travel service business for free and get the expertise of multiple people that have booked hundreds of thousands of cruises. So that's why you would use a travel agent. Are you always going to get a better price? I don't know. But you're going to get things like, do you know where you want your cabin to be? Is it good to be in this spot of the ship? Good to be in that spot of the ship? Again, I'm not promoting travel because I'll get in trouble for that because Jenny just had a really busy weekend and I'm not supposed to be promoting travel on the show tonight. But so forget Team Jenny. Use a travel agent just so that you can get that free expertise. And sometimes they can turn you on to group cruises that have better pricing, that kind of thing. There you go. MSC is weird. I would argue with you, Mary. The entertainment is weird. The thing is, like, most of the entertainment is being performed in English by non-English speakers, and that takes a while to recognize that. Maybe weird's a bad word for you. Weird's a good word for me, but it's diverse, it's eclectic. You can use any of those words. Let's see. How hard is it to drive into the port of New Orleans? Never done it. I've driven through Louisiana before, but I don't think we were even close to New Orleans. I don't know if we're flying in or driving next year. We'll have to see. Enjoyed your first cruise live show. How about that? Thank you. Thanks for watching the show. We've never done we've bid before, but I don't think we've ever won. We've won a upgrade on Norwegian before. All right, guys. Final thoughts, final questions. I'm not even going to give Jenny's I have to give Jenny's contact. If you want to be in the queue for Team Jenny, send an email to jbarnett@expediacruises.com. I don't know if one of the admins are still here, if they can throw that in there, but that's how you do it. Any advice on booking an Antarctica cruise? Thinking Viking, but heard others might be better. Yogi Bearsteed, never done it. I don't know, go like Tips for Travelers, Gary Bembridge. I know that he's done some either Arctic or Antarctic cruises. Go check out that guy's channel and look for Antarctica, and he probably has great information on it. Gary has some great information, so I would check that out. Check it out. I did talk about celebrity earlier, Jarrett. Make sure you swing back to the thing. I was watching your most recent video saying that you were having a live tonight, so I'm here. Way to be here, psych. Verifly, yes or no. I used it for Carnival. I would still use it if they still have it. Do you think you'll try Oceania a few years? Yeah, Jim, I'd like to try all those further up the line chain, 7 Seas, all that stuff. We got to make a plan though. Like it's good stuff. All right, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Wow, that hour went quick. Appreciate it as usual. Let me cue up the outro here. Let me see if there's any last questions. Thanks for taking my question. Love the show. Been watching the vids to prepare. Thank you, Vasil. Sorry if I didn't get to everybody's question. It's just not possible. Thanks everybody for all the love and the super chats. And throw your question down in the comments once the show becomes a replay. I'll try to answer it, or if you guys can, swing back by and look at the comments and maybe help people with questions that they may have. That's the beautiful part of this community. All right, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed it. I sure enjoyed it. Thanks for all the likes. Thanks for the dislikes. Love to the Loca fam. Love to the Loca haters. It's a wild life. It's such a wild life. I'm so excited that there's people that like us and people that don't like us. I mean, it's like, what a weird world that we live in. But if you don't have people that don't like you, then I feel like you're not doing the right thing, because sometimes you gotta take a stand. So I'm happy to take a stand and find people that stand against me, because that it just motivates me. All right, guys, thanks so much for stopping by. My name's Tony. For the lovely Jenny B, we are Lido Loca, and until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido.